And we're live.
We're live.
Welcome
Okay.
to DeFi Crypto. Today's live AMA with Delta Finance. Today, Chase is going to talk about the new tokenomics.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm just gonna quickly send over the links for everyone in Discord.
All right, so lots of things have been happening at Delta lately. Chase has been hired to figure out the numbers and to make everything more sustainable and more profitable for everybody. So that's what we're going to be talking about. The NFT sale is still ongoing. So if you want to take advantage of those APY boosts, it's time to buy.
Speaking of NFTs, there's a lot more perks now for having an NFT other than just APY boost.
Yeah, and that's why Chase is going to talk about that today. So, are you ready, Chase?
I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
All right, go for it. What's new?
Okay. So if you're already an NFT holder, a couple of things. So one of the new things is we're actually going to have a pre-bonding. So we're actually going to have a pre-sale and a pre-bonding before the launch of the token. And one of the cool things about this, I think, is that you get to buy at a significant discount of $12 if you have an NFT. So this is a good way to, basically give back to the people who are early believers in the project, right? And they would buy the Delta token at $12. Why is this a significant discount? Pre-sale is going to be $15, and then after launch, we're actually going to have a price, stability mechanism. And the price range that we're going to keep it at is between $45 and $55. So really, the pre-bonding is a big steal. Now, while there will be a limit on the pre-bond, the amount you can mint in pre-bonding, this limit will be changed based off of how many NFT sales we have. So if we don't have too many NFT sales, there might actually be higher limits because we'll be able to handle the debt. This is just all in the name of sustainability. So if we sell more NFTs, people will still be able to pre-mint at the very least 2,500 for Gamma, 1,000 for Beta, and 500 for Alpha before the launch of the token.
All right. So basically, we're going to buy and be able to buy the tokens at around $12. You said in the pre-launch, in the pre-bonding.
Yeah, and if you pre-bond, you can buy at $12 instead of $15 in the pre-sale. Pre-sale is going to be an open sale, so everyone can buy in, but there will be a limit per wallet, right?
Okay.
However, because everyone can buy in, there'll be a lot more people buying in. So the benefit of pre-sale, even though it's the same price as launch price, is that pre-sale has no buy tax. Same with the pre-minting. There's no tax on that. You just get a discount. You can buy at $12.
Okay. So the
Speaking of
NFT
taxes,
holders get it at $12. People that don't have the NFTs will get it later at $15 per token.
Or more, right? There's
more.
a chance they don't get to buy in the pre-sale.
Right. Okay. And then after that, the price should be maintained in a range between, what did you say, $45 to $55?
45, yeah, 45 to 55, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And we're good. We have a very smart mechanism that I will go into detail later.
Okay.
For some other things, if you pre-bond or you buy in the pre-sale, those tokens will be vested for a week and then staked for a minimum term of 1 month. So you won't get your tokens immediately. However, you do get the extra APY of 1 month added on when you get it back. So you get to immediately stake before everyone else.
So you automatically stake for at least 1 month.
Yeah, at least 1 month, but you can do up to 1 year immediately.
Okay.
And with our price stabilizing mechanism, you'll have the assurity that you won't lose value. That's one of the things we want to promise for everyone. That way everyone can profit from this.
Okay. That sounds exciting. So, so the best thing right now is to buy the NFTs, or I should just wait to buy the Delta token?
Definitely the best thing is to buy the NFTs. Because right now, AVAX is really cheap. We don't know whether the market will recover sooner or later. However, right now, if you were to just buy AVAX and then go buy the NFTs, you would get you'd really spend much less for the amount that you'll be getting back later on when we launch. Because the value of these NFTs are going to go up towards launch, especially if we sell out. Because people want to have them not only to pre-bond, but also because of the high APY boost they give on the staking.
How much is the AVAX token right now? Do you know?
Is it not AVAX?
Yeah, how much is AVAX right now?
All right. Well, I thought it was like 2 AVAX, 14 AVAX for.
Yeah, it's 2 AVAX, but I was 8 or 14. I was wondering the price per AVAX.
Oh, the price of AVAX is like $24.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than it used to be, right?
Like literally like 2 months ago, it was like $100.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's significantly cheaper now.
See, you're getting it at 75% off, folks. Time to buy.
Basically. Yeah, and AVAX will go up, so the value of the NFTs,
Yeah.
even if you just sell it back to the same price in AVAX, it will definitely go up over time.
And you can trade them on nftrade.com if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now the most popular one right now is the Gamma,
Mm-hmm.
because we got almost 20%, 10%, 20% of them were sold already. So that's the most popular one in the 3 categories.
Yeah, and Gamma is the one that gives you the highest, APY boost. It will also give you the highest, limit on the pre-minting. By the way, in terms of like pre-minting, the pre-minting value will, if you buy multiple NFTs, say you get a Gamma and a Beta, you get the bonus pre-minting limit for the Beta as well as the Gamma. So it would add together. So if you want to be able to, pre-mint a lot more tokens, you probably want to buy more NFTs.
Okay, so, but I could buy 2 Gammas or not?
You can buy 2 Gammas, yeah.
Okay, so and each one gives me the same limit, right?
Yeah, the same limit, yeah.
All right.
This is because we want to, the prices, the limits were calculated based off the number of NFTs, not necessarily the number of holders of NFTs. So it doesn't matter if one person has a bunch of Gammas, because we'd be able to handle that mathematically.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of taxes, so one thing, remember the benefit is that you don't have to pay taxes if you do pre-bonding and you buy the pre-sale. We actually do have 2 dynamic taxes, a buy tax and a sell tax for Delta token. So we wanted to make sure that we don't have, we don't enter a situation of hyperinflation for the token. That way we can maintain the price. And that way people can, average investors, average holders can be protected, not just the whales. And for that reason, we actually have a high burn rate. So our base buy tax is 13%. This is mostly to deter people from just arbitraging at $45 and $55, right? In order to like prevent that, as well as to like generally, burn more tokens, as well as protect the sustainability of the protocol by basically allowing us to profit off of the trades. So in terms of taxes, the split is 5% burn, 3% will be kept as Delta tokens, and 5% will be liquidated for the treasury.
Now, is the tax going to be progressive or not?
Also, the tax can go from 5 to 15% in terms of buy tax. The 5% will actually have it as a special event called Happy Hour, and in that time frame, for like a set time frame, people can buy at the 5% buy tax. This will be used in order to like sort of generate more buy pressure, as well as also let people buy at like a better rate.
But what about if a whale wants to dump, I don't know, 1 million tokens today? What happens?
So we actually have a whale tax for that. So I was about to get into that. So our sell tax is also dynamic. So in terms of sell tax, it's taxed at 16%. It goes to 45%. However, for each percentage we raise it actually is just an increase in the burn percentage. And it starts at 8% at the beginning. So if it's at 45%, that would be like 29% more on top of the 8%. So 37% burn percentage. Think about that.
Right, that's a lot.
Yeah. So we would be able to do that in terms of like times of like massive sell pressure. That way, we protect the average holder by just removing the supply. And the more supply removed, the easier it is for us to recover the price.
So in simple terms, all this
curb the inflation.
In simple terms, all those mechanisms are there to maintain the price of the token as high as possible and avoid a
Also,
dumping of the
yeah,
price, right?
exactly. This paired with we have a certificate of deposits where people deposit their Delta tokens and then they receive a high APY return back in the Delta tokens. However, that APY is decaying. So over time, eventually, the burn mechanism will most likely end up either being equal or above the inflation mechanism. So we can even end up in a situation in which we end up burning more tokens than we're actually printing, due to the fact that basically the buy pressure for the token will go up, and not necessarily because of these mechanisms, but because of some of the other stuff we have planned, which I will go over. But yes, basically all the mechanisms, the burn, the taxes, they're there in order to protect the average holder. We want to make sure that someone who buys $10 worth of Delta is protected as much as someone who buys $1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. We want to make sure it's an even playing field, because we know that a lot of DeFi is sort of like, even if it's meant to be decentralized finance so that everyone can be the bank. And that is our motto. We want to create a good savings option for people, for small and large holders in DeFi. That's our goal.
All right. On the website, it talks about stablecoin payout. How does that work?
Oh, okay. So one of the cool benefits of actually locking up your Delta token. So not only do you get protection from the price stability, but also when you lock up your Delta tokens, you actually receive USDC dividends. This would be around 10 to 20% of the protocol revenue quarterly, and you would receive this quarterly. So if you were someone who had staked a lot of Delta tokens, you would receive a percentage of the protocol revenue in USDC while it's staked. So you don't even have to like sell your Delta tokens. You could lock it up and just receive passive income.
So do I have to basically stake my tokens for at least 3 months to get that, or does it work also if I only stake for 1 month?
So you would have to stake for 3 months because it is done quarterly.
Okay.
So if you stake for 1 month, I feel like I think, yeah, no, it would have to be at least 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months sounds more fair if it's quarterly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to stake for 3 months, 6 months, or a year in order to benefit from the stablecoin dividends.
Also, a year is the maximum you can do one term, but you can always stake it for a second year afterwards. So you have it would be unstaked and then staked again.
Now, what if I have what if I have multiple NFTs? Can I make multiple deposits? Let's say today I want to make a deposit of, let's say, $500, and then next month I want to make another deposit of $1,000. Can I do that with different NFTs?
Yeah, you can. Actually, users can split deposits and attach separate NFTs to each deposit for the full NFT bonuses.
All right.
If you do stack NFTs on one deposit, unfortunately, only one NFT will give the full bonus. The other NFTs will all be half bonuses. So if you had two NFTs, one a gamma, one beta, then you would get 4,000%, which is the gamma APY bonus, and then 900, which is half of the beta. That's what you would get if you stack it up. So we actually encourage people to actually split their deposits up in different term dates.
Okay. So I could buy NFTs at different times, make my deposits at different times, and still enjoy similar benefits. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be claimable upon their term dates. So it could also be different term dates for all of them, or the same term date for all of them.
All right. Anything else happened with the tokenomics?
So I would say one other thing is that not necessarily tokenomics, but we already have a plan for a Delta token game. So this would be in terms of later on when we release our RaceCar NFT series. So later on, so sometime after the launch of the Delta token, we release these RaceCar NFTs, which are partnered with our motorsport partnership. And essentially, this is how the game would work. You would have a representation of your RaceCar NFT. You would have to have the NFT in order to play it. And you would spend Delta tokens to enter the match, and whoever wins the race would win the jackpot. However, the way we determine the winner is based off distance crossed within a time period. And you would spend Delta tokens in order to increase the speed of your race car NFT. In order to make it fair, though, so it's not just a pay-to-win game, we actually have a limit to how many boosts you can do within a certain time frame. So you can only do one boost per minute. However, obviously, the boosts are within a range between 2 and 3 kilometers per hour.
How do I
Let's
do
say
the
you
boost?
got
Sorry.
2.1 kilometers per hour.
Sorry, how do I do a boost? I didn't understand that.
Okay, so you buy a ticket to enter the race, right?
Right.
And then afterwards, this is during the race. Afterwards, you can buy a boost. There'll be an option every minute to buy a boost to
okay.
boost your car, and the boost will be between 2 and 3 kilometers if you're in second place, and 1 and 4 kilometers per hour if you're first place.
Okay, so how do I pay for the boost? In USDC or in Delta tokens?
You would pay in Delta tokens.
Okay.
And a portion of all the Delta tokens used to pay this in the service would go into the pot, into the jackpot, and then a portion would be burned. So this is not only a burn mechanism, but also like a use case for the Delta token.
Right.
And since going with the gamification of it, you can only use one speed boost per minute. So even if you're a whale and versus someone else who isn't a whale, it wouldn't necessarily be an unfair advantage. However, there is still another way where whales can get a slight advantage, but it's still up to luck in this case. Every 10 seconds, they're allowed to do a reroll. So in between the 1 minute cooldowns between they can boost, there's an option for them to spend a Delta token to do a reroll. And if they reroll, they can perhaps upgrade their boost from a 2 kilometer to a 3 kilometer, or 2.2 or 2.5 kilometer per hour bonus. So this will only give them a slight advantage, and even then, there would only be, they can only do possibly 5 rerolls within the time frame. So there's even a potential where someone who doesn't have as much Delta tokens actually wins the tournament, and this is the idea, is that everyone can win the tournament. So we want everyone to participate. It's a generally fair game, but obviously it would help, burn the token supply of Delta.
All right. Now to participate, you need to have the RaceCar
NFT.
NFT first. Okay.
Yes.
And then you buy a
NFT.
ticket to enter the race using Delta tokens. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds cool. When do you think that's coming?
So the RaceCar NFTs are still like a ways away, right? That would be like some months after the release of the main token, the Delta token. And I assume the RaceCar game, which actually can be done in tandem with the RaceCar NFT, it could be done within the same month the
Right.
RaceCar NFT is released.
So do you expect that for third quarter or fourth quarter?
Sometime in the fourth quarter, most likely.
Okay. Because now we're expecting the Delta token to be released, in a couple of months from now?
2-3 months, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
something
the goal.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the coding to be done on the DeFi side, right?
Yep, coding, the UI, which is being worked on, and
Right.
then the app, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, one other cool thing about the game I forgot to mention, we will actually include like real world prizes, sometimes tickets, potentially other things within the races, and there'll be multiple races, 1 hour, 3 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 week, 1 month. And the ones with the longer durations, like 1 week, 1 month, will have the significantly bigger prizes. Might even include like cash prizes, not just necessarily Delta tokens.
I think we're gonna be able to have also like maybe physical prizes, like actual race car T-shirts and caps and things like that, on top of maybe tickets to racing car events. I think that's going to be possible at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we forgot to mention?
I'm just gonna mention a couple of like just general numbers.
Sure.
So one of the cool things about the decay rate is that it's actually sustainable. Even though we start at 20,000%, we can deliver a high APY for the first year, and even then continue to decay slowly over the second year, while still giving a good price stability and price appreciation for the Delta token. And I think that's something to really be like excited about, because that means people can confidently lock up their tokens. I feel like the big problem with a lot of the projects is that you would have high APYs, right? You would lock up your tokens,
Mm-hmm.
and then while it's locked up, the token price would just completely plummet. So even if now you have like 10,000 tokens, those 10,000 tokens are not even worth 1/10 of what you initially put in.
Right.
And I feel like that's a big problem, and that's because the APYs are too high, and they don't have enough, like, they didn't calculate how much they would need, how much is actually sustainable for the time period that they have. So we understand that we cannot maintain a 20,000% APY forever. However, because that's why we had the decay aspect, and we do this only for the first year when the token supply is lower. Because if the token supply grows, year after year, then that's when it becomes unsustainable. However, if you do it for a shorter period of time, then it is actually sustainable.
Do you want to give an idea of what the APY is going to be?
So if you were to buy day one and you locked it up for 1 year, the effective bonus, as in your extra tokens, will be around 3,200%. So if you put 1,000 tokens in, you would actually have 4,300 tokens at the end of the year. However, in the second year, by that point, the APY is actually going to be around 600%. So the second year APY is significantly lower than the first year APY. However, it's still a very high APY, and this would be in conjunction with, how much we can sustain over time.
Right. But still, the longer you stake, the bigger your rewards anyway.
Yeah, because if you stake for 6 months only, you wouldn't get anywhere near the 3,000%. Let me look at the actual spreadsheet here. If you stake for 6 months from day one, your effective bonus is 700%. So if you stake 1,000 tokens, you would have 1,700 at the end. Oh no, not 1,000.